You can see the problem that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had today. They've gotten it to the Browns 32, the 22, and the 10, and come out with 3 points. Last week against Houston, they had the ball inside the 10-yard line 4 times, came out with just 13 points. Pittsburgh got exactly what it wanted at the end of the first half, and that was a big turnover, good field position. It wasn't a turnover, but good field position so they can drive the short field. Did not score. This is a game of emotion, and when that interception came by Eddie Johnson and the Cleveland Browns, that really hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers' chances, because Cleveland starts the second half with the football, and 9-3, Cleveland's got to feel very, very good about their chances. But Pittsburgh in this ball game, even with all the missed opportunities.
The kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers, as we're set now to start the third quarter. Gerald McNeil ready to run it back. Bangs it downfield, and here comes McNeil from a yard deep. He gets the opening. He's gone.
Whoa.
Had a little bit of an opening. He was finally cut down at the 32-yard line. Coming down to make the play was Merrill Hogue. So after a 31-yard return on the tackle by Hodge, it's now going to be first down and 10 for the Cleveland Browns.
And you can see the numbers are very, very even. That one turnover, an absolute killer because of the position that it happened. Time of possession in favor of the Steelers. One of the big factors now for Cleveland is the condition of Bob Golick, their all-pro nose tackle. X-rayed his forearm at half. We'll find out. We haven't found out yet what's wrong with it.
As Ahmad was mentioning at halftime, it's not a Pro Bowler. No matter how good he is, you have him in the backup, and that's where the Steelers run at the nose tackle. Inside running game, but right now Kosar looks for a timing pattern. He looked for Slaughter to go deep. Kosar throws on the run and hits Ozzie Newsome for a first down as he takes the ball inside the 45-yard line down to about the 43.
Well, that ball was originally intended for Webster Slaughter, and Kosar did a great job of coming off the primary receiver. Newsome runs an excellent pattern. Now he looks left, and Slaughter's deep. Watch Newsome at the top. You see Greg Carr, 91, the man in coverage. Newsome gets behind him, rolls away. Carr loses track of him. He ends up being a 25-yard pickup. So the Browns are going to start the second half with a deep pass.
Newsome's caught 4 today for 50 yards. He's not been in the end zone yet this year. But over his brilliant career, he's caught more passes than any tight end in NFL history. Steelers left early. Keith Willis, the left end, and now there's a penalty marker down the ball on the field, but it's going to be a free play for Cleveland, really, unless Willis was drawn offside. We'll have to sort this all out, but it appeared that Willis jumped early.
I think all of that work was for nothing. Woodruff knocked it loose and came up with the ball, and it is offsides. Pittsburgh right there at the nose tackle.
Offside. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
It is Keith Willis. Surprising, too. The guys closest to the football seem to be the guys who jump off sides the most. They're staring right at it, but I guess they're not convinced that nothing can happen before that ball moves.
Some of the finest players in the history of the game, though, jump offside a lot. Joe Green, Joe Klecko.
Deacon Jones of a number of years ago.
He was so fast you couldn't tell. He looked offside even when he wasn't. Here's a handoff to Mack, who takes it down to about the 38-yard line. Keith Gary made the stop. Defensive end from Oklahoma.
You saw the Steelers' possessions on the day. How about Cleveland? Started out strong, missed extra point. Makes it 9-3.
Webster Slaughter goes wide to the left. The man who's caught 7 touchdown passes this season for the Browns. Sure-handed Brian Brennan's on the right flank.
Looks like a throw, Don.
2nd and 5. The foot is back, but they go to the run, and a handoff goes to Byner, who is knocked down at the 35-yard line. Bob Golick is still in the Browns locker room, his right arm being examined. He came out in the second quarter and he was banged up. David Little and Keith Gary were on the stop.
I mentioned it looked like Bernie was going to throw, but once again our key I think is good, but from I formation The Browns don't seem to throw the ball when Bernie has his right foot back. See if it shows here. But obviously a passing situation. Well, maybe not so. 3rd and 2.
Bernie's got that right foot back now.
He sure does.
3rd and 2 it is for the Cleveland Browns, who lead this game 9-3. Decibel level picks up. Big crowd noise, as there always is. Free ball on the field, but it's ruled an incomplete pass at the 31-yard line.
That ball to Brian Brennan. Woodson and Greg Carr, the men in coverage. The Browns running a pattern just deep enough to try to get the first down. Brennan, normally very sure-handed, just couldn't quite hang on to it. You see bump and run on the outside. Brennan goes just deep enough to make the first down. Carr knocks it away. Well, his Carr in the last 4 or 5 weeks really had an impact on this defense.
Rod Woodson is the deep man back. He blocked the extra point. Woodson, a national class hurdler, has that sprinter start. He's a threat to block one every time he goes for it. Johnson will try to keep the ball inside the 10 if he can. And he'll do that at least inside the 15. The Cleveland Browns down the ball at about the 12-yard line of Pittsburgh. So Malone and the Steelers come out with the long field to go as they're 88 yards from the Cleveland end zone. They've not crossed that line yet today with 12:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Malone and the Steelers are set to go on offense. Mark Malone's passing numbers for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 8 of 11. He's thrown the 1 interception, but what he's not done, Bob Trumpy, is get the ball deep, and that's what he's going to have to do if they're to score.
Yeah, but Don, I'll tell you, with the score 9-3, the missed extra point, I think Pittsburgh can basically stay with their game plan, continue to try to run the football, and now the big factor is, with Bob Golick out, how can Pazzulli handle the nose tackle situation for the Cleveland Browns? That's something I believe that Pittsburgh will try to exploit as best they possibly can in this drive.
We just got an unfortunate report on Golick. He has a fractured radius in his right arm. And preliminary diagnosis, he definitely won't play again today, and the rest of his season is in serious jeopardy.
That's the small bone in the lower arm or the big bone in the lower arm? Do you know?
You should know because you've broken them all.
No, I didn't break that one.
It's the only bone you have in you. I haven't broken playing this game.
I think it's the big bone in the forearm.
6 weeks is conservative.
Humphrey led the league in breaks. Pollard is stuck as he tries to go straight ahead, knocked back from the 11-yard line to about the 9. Frank Pollard, a power runner, built close to the ground, 5'10", 230 pounds, in his 8th year from Baylor.
Dave Pazzulli, the nose tackle, up there with Sims and also Hairston, 78. You see him firing at that line of scrimmage. Sims does a great job to break up the trap block, and Pollard's got no place to go. The rest of this ball game is now in the hands of the Cleveland defense, Don.
Browns defense, one of the best, is the best against the score. Giving up the fewest points as Ernest Jackson breaks it for the moment. Safety, Felix Wright comes up and makes the play. On a 2nd down and 10 play, there's a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Pittsburgh.
The reason I say the rest of this game is up to the Cleveland defense is this is a good enough defense to protect a 6-point lead. They can run the Eagle or Bear defense. They've got to have very tight coverage on Lips and Stallworth to the outside. And this is the kind of game I think Marty Schottenheimer likes, where it's up to his defense to protect the lead, win the game.
Steelers don't pass well, but they were 4th in the NFL in running the ball coming into this game, but they need big plays now, and Malone's going for him right now. Against the 3-man rush, he gets time. Gets it out to Stallworth, who somehow catches an underthrown ball, but he has nowhere to go, reaching back at it. And a 3rd down and 6 play, gains nothing at all, and the Steelers have to punt it from deep in their own end.
Both Felix Wright and Mark Harper were right there with John Stallworth to make the tackle. Good coverage down the field. Malone had no choice but to go out in the flat. And there's 2 guys to make the tackle.
Gary Newsome standing inside his 5-yard line. McNeil back deep for Cleveland. Newsome hits it long, but it'll come back at the Steelers as McNeil takes it at the 35. He's not going to run over anybody at 5'7", 147 pounds. Smallest player in the league. Tyrone Stowe, a 235-pound linebacker, smacked him. A 7-yard return off a 49-yard punt.
Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by AT&T, the right choice.
With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crookie back at Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Temperature in the 30s, excellent playing conditions. The threat of rain seems to have passed for the moment. Right now, these arch rivals, the Browns and the Steelers, locked up in a 9-3 game. Cleveland with the ball. First and 10. Cleveland leads the game 9-3. Browns win it, and they win their division for a third straight year. Steelers have to win and get help tomorrow to make it as a wild card. Robin Cole makes the play. Browns' leading tackler this season is Mike Johnson, but as you see, he's on the sideline today. Strained a knee against the Raiders last Sunday.
Browns are not superstitious, but just as they did last year, this year they brought everybody on the injured reserve list, Mike Johnson being one of them.
Kosar with a TD throw and no interceptions, and almost double the passing yards of Malone of the Steelers. That was the question at the outset. Could the Steelers overcome the overmatch at quarterback?
Newsome.
Wide open, Ozzie Newsome, both feet in, and he's out of bounds for a first down. Bernie Kosar again does it in awkward style. 15 or 20 years when he goes in the Hall of Fame, they'll say, gee, Bernie looked a little awkward getting his flack today, didn't he?
25-yard catch again for Newsome, his 5th for 75. A rollout. Brian Brennan is the primary receiver. He's covered very well. Kosar has the presence of mind. You know, when Bernie runs, he throws the ball higher. When he sits back there in the pocket, that's when he kind of slings it as opposed to throwing it. That's a nice reception by Ozzie Newsome, too.
His quarterback at Miami of Florida, when they won the national championship, Schnellenberger said of Kosar, he's not only the smartest quarterback I've ever been around, he's one of the smartest people. Graduated 2 years ahead of his class. Handoff, and up the middle, running with the ball is Byner. He is thrown back on a hard hit by Tim Johnson, a rookie from Penn State. And a marker's down at the line of scrimmage.
That's another offsides by Pittsburgh. Looked like Tim Johnson jumped across the line of scrimmage a little prematurely. He'll take the 5 yards, make it.
Defense, offside, number 56, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, first down.
Now they said Robin Cole 56. I think it was Tim Johnson 78. I think he was misidentified. Tim Johnson right up at the line of scrimmage. Very top of the screen. He's looking at the football, not convinced that that has to move before it's legal for him to get in there. And first and 5.
First and 5 it is for the Cleveland Browns. They lead the game in the third quarter. 9:50 to play in it. 9-3.
This looks like a throw, Don.
Foot back, but now he's crossing us up with that foot back, and Kevin Mack runs in very nicely. He's ahead for a first down. Rod Woodson knocked him out of bounds after a 7-yard run on the play. Browns challenging here in the third quarter, moving the ball downfield. That big throw on the broken play. Ozzie Newsome set this up.
See, Byner, 44, goes in motion. He ends up being a lead blocker. Mack excellent at getting right up to the line of scrimmage and then bouncing outside. And you're right, it looks like our little tip on Bernie Kosar sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. First down pickup, Cleveland, drive stays alive.
Get an idea what Kosar has done at his age. He's younger than Vinny Testaverde. He's of course the top draft choice last spring. Kosar in his 3rd year.
Another offsides. What is going on here? These guys are looking right at the football. Gary Dunn this time. He came out of his stance real quickly. Normally nose tackles sit there and look at the football.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still a first down.
Tell you one thing, though, you can't trust centers. They'll squeeze the ball. They'll do anything to try to trick you. Majority of those penalties, 5-yarders against Steelers just for being offsides. Bucknell obviously not happy.
So far, the Steeler defense has covered well the undersized overachiever Brian Brennan, who's on the right flank, 86 at the lower corner of your screen. Before long, Kosar's going that way. 1st and 5 for Kosar on the Browns now inside the 15-yard line of Pittsburgh.
This is zone coverage, Don. Somebody's going to be open over the middle.
Ryan Brennan incomplete at the 4-yard line. Good coverage by the strong safety Donnie Shell.
One of the things that I think Pittsburgh shows in their defense is when they have a linebacker in a walkaway that's underneath the wide receiver, you know they're going zone. Kosar throws his ball into coverage, but he throws it low. And that's where you want quarterbacks to throw it, down there in the middle of a defense, so it's not intercepted. Shell almost came up with it.
Schottenheimer said of Brian Brennan, when you're in tight situations, you think of people, not plays, and we think of Brian Brennan when we need a big play.
This looks like man-to-man coverage here by Pittsburgh.
2nd down and 5 for the Browns. For the run they go. Mack tries to outrun the pursuit and does not, as he's thrown out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Loss actually about no gain. They'd gotten a yard with his forward progress. Cornerback Dwayne Woodruff came up and got him. Woodruff, an 8-year veteran, and Delton Hall, a rookie, are the corners for Pittsburgh.
Also a nice assist here to Thomas Everett, the free safety. He comes from the inside out, and then Woodruff there. And if your defense can string that play out to the sideline, the pursuit will catch out. And this young man, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, been sensational for Pittsburgh.
Interesting mix of the new and the old in the Steelers secondary. The free safety's a rookie, Everett. The strong safety, Shell's a 14-year veteran. Rookie at right corner, 8-year veteran at left corner. Here's a throw to Brennan, but he can't hold on at the 7-yard line. Merriweather, a super quick linebacker, came on the blitz and got a piece of Kosar, forcing the early throw.
Greg Carr up the middle, too. It was a very, very late showing blitz. Kosar couldn't quite set up to throw it. The ball at Brennan's feet, and he couldn't make the catch. So the Steelers defense has done its job here. This drive started at the Cleveland Brown 40.
30-yard try now by the former Steeler Matt Bahr. Quick shot.
Hit the upright.
Hit the left upright, and it carried him through. So you can come home again. Matt Bahr does. Back to Three Rivers and hits a carom shot to give the Browns a 12-3 lead with 9:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. Nervous moment, but it went through. Browns have extended their lead to 12-3 on Bahr's 2nd field goal of the day. Here's the kickoff downfield, and here comes Woodson, the fastest Steeler. Can't run through a wall of white shirts, and so he's knocked down. Leading the charge downfield to cover was Felix Wright. Bob Golick, the all-pro nose tackle for the Cleveland Browns, you remember, went out in the 2nd quarter with an injury to his right arm. Since diagnosed as a fracture of the big bone in his right forearm. So his season probably ended, unfortunately, today. Picked this week to go to the Pro Bowl for a 3rd straight year. 7 Browns go to the Pro Bowl, but the one who did not get voted in is the most valuable Brown of all, Bernie Kosar. Malone, deep drop, long ball, receiver fell down. Was he tripped? Apparently not. Official right there rules no foul. Matt Bahr, who just kicked that last field goal for the Cleveland Browns, has enjoyed some great moments in the stadium as a Pittsburgh Steeler. 1979, overtime. Bahr puts it up and through, and that day on that field goal, the Steelers beat the Browns 33-30 in overtime and went on to win Super Bowl 14. He made a great comeback the year ago against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He not fractured his knee, but he tore it up so badly it needed major surgery, and he came back now late in the season, has kicked very well. Malone in trouble. Darrell Sims tries to run him down, and here's a throw upfield and out to the 30-yard line. Markers are down.
Oh, Frank Pollard makes a nice catch. An illegal man downfield. So that one will come back. Darrell Sims, good pressure on Mark Malone, former Pittsburgh Steeler 1st-round draft choice. making a point to Chuck Noll that I can play in the NFL.
He didn't give him that indication when he was here, though.
Offense number 52, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down, second down.
That was obviously a screen because the center and the guards come out of there. Webster, you pull out of there and you go 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and then head upfield. And with the pressure by Sims, Malone flushed. Webster was illegally downfield.
So now a difficult down and yardage for Malone and the Steelers. 8:45 to play in the third quarter. They have the ball second down and 20. Their 15-yard line. Cleveland 12, Pittsburgh 3. Malone lets it go, and Stallworth is down with it all. Cut down by the zone defense, short of the first down. It will bring up third and about 5. Gain of 17 on that play.
Hey, though, John Stallworth is doing an excellent job against the starting cornerback in the Pro Bowl, Hanford Dixon. Stallworth with a world of experience. Malone steps up in the pocket, throws this one right on the money, and look at that cushion. Stallworth is running some outstanding patterns because Dixon has not been able to cover Stallworth very well today.
Stallworth now with 540 receptions in his 14-year career.
Blitz all the way.
Whoa, he had the open man. V.G. Thompson off the left flank. Crowd calls for a penalty marker. Officials do not comply as Thompson ran an in pattern. They've been targeting Hanford Dixon, as you mentioned, Trump, a starting cornerback in the next Pro Bowl.
Of course, when it comes to penalties or a lack of a penalty, the replay is no factor. See if there's contact on this one. They look pretty close. It was just thrown a little bit too far out in front of V.G. Thompson.
Gary Newsome into punt. Browns, of course, with another Pro Bowl starter at the other corner, Minifield. Low line drive punt. Backpedaling to the 19-yard line is Gerald McNeil.
Fumble.
Browns have it at the 29-yard line. 50-yard punt and 11-yard return. So Cleveland, as you pointed out, Trump, cannot afford to turn it over, and they have not in this game. They've come close a number of times. Ray Ellis fell on the free ball and kept the possession for the Browns. Santa on duty a day after Christmas here at Three River Stadium. Browns are hoping for the big one. That's on their wish list for 1988. San Diego and Super Bowl 22. Steelers hoping to get in. They need a win today and help tomorrow to get in as a wild card. Had a very good draft in '87. 3 of their first 4 picks were defensive backs. All good ones. Here's a throw and a catch by Langhorne. First down throw on the near flat. Gets the ball out to the 37-yard line. Dwayne Woodruff was covering. Gain on the play of 7.
I got to tell you, that wish list for the Cleveland Browns seriously hampered with the injury to Bob Golick, their all-pro nose tackle, and also the loss of Mike Johnson, their leading tackler. It is expected that Mike Johnson will be able to play in the playoffs if Cleveland wins today, but still seriously hampered by a knee injury. You don't know how healthy he will be.
And now to second down and a long 4 for the Cleveland Browns. Ball position just across their 35. They lead the game 12-3, 6:50 to play in the third quarter. Straight ahead run will be short of the first down. Kevin Mack is knocked down by Keith Willis. You know, Trump, Bob Golick, who was injured today, fracturing the right forearm, is an interesting success story. See a lot of athletes like Donnie Shell is going to be in the Hall of Fame. The Steeler, many times an All-Pro, came in as a free agent. Golick came in as a high draft choice into the league and failed, or so they thought, at New England. He was drafted as a second-round pick by New England out of Notre Dame, where he was an All-American in 2 sports, wrestling and football. Patriots didn't think he was a good linebacker and cut him. He went back to his hometown Cleveland. They put him at nose tackle, and as they say, the rest is history.
Pro Bowl.
3 straight years. Kosar, in his wisdom, sees something he doesn't like with those linebackers jumping in and out, so he calls timeout with 6:02 to play in the third quarter. Now Kosar goes over for counsel. A break here at the stadium. It's 12-3 Cleveland.
An important message for people who depend on their cars. For the 7th year in a row, Ford Motor Company cars and trucks have had fewer reported problems on average than any other vehicles designed and built in North America.
Not just when they were new, but thousands of miles down the road.
Now all our new cars, vans, and light trucks have a 6-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty.
With a warranty like that and a quality record like ours.
Whose car would you rather be driving?
At Ford, quality is job one.
The rushing yardage, the edge, as you see, to the Steelers. Coach Chuck Noll has been on 6 championship teams, 4 as a coach here at Pittsburgh, and he played on 2 championship teams as an offensive guard at Cleveland, which is his hometown. Coach Schottenheimer from the Pittsburgh area, from Canonsburg, Pennsylvania.
70 on the offense is reported as an eligible receiver. Number 70.
Third down and about a yard for the Cleveland Browns. Ball position at their 38-yard line. They lead 12-3 in the third quarter.
Offsides Cleveland. Looked like the left tight end. I'm not sure it was a tight end at all, but an offensive lineman jumped off sides. They did not make the first down, so Pittsburgh has the opportunity to refuse the penalty and make Cleveland punt.
Kosar performing very consistently with 26 throws.
16 completions, a touchdown, 176 yards. I believe this is on the offense, Don. Yeah. So you refuse the penalty and make it 4th down. See if we can pick up who it is. It's Larry Williams, who is lined up as the tight end.
Cleveland offensive line hasn't done much wrong lately. Gave up no sacks last week at Los Angeles
Number
against the
70,
Raiders.
5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 3rd down.
Wait a minute. Why'd they repeat the down? Oh, I guess they wouldn't let him run the... Wait a minute. If they let the play run, Pittsburgh can refuse the penalty and it's 4th down. I think the umpire is...
They called encroachment, we're informed, which would kill the play. The foul before the snap of the ball. Entered the neutral zone.
I don't know about that. Art McNally just called down to tell us that. So that means that the play was nullified.
It's good enough for me.
So from the spot of where the ball was before, actually that's a great break for Cleveland. They get another chance to convert. Chuck Noll was saying, what's going on here?
Brown scoring came on the first.
The foul was a false start, not an offside.
Had a temporary lull in the excitement level, but this game will heat up. It always does when it's the Browns and the Steelers. Cleveland with a 12-3 lead, scored on its first possession, drove down the field and kicked the first quarter field goal. Second quarter touchdown pass and 2 yards out. Bernie Kosar to Derek Tennell. And they scored a third quarter field goal. Both by Bahr, the 2 field goals. Steelers have not been in the end zone yet. Just the field goal by Anderson. 3rd and about 7. It's slapped right back at them. Another admirable performance today by the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They keep getting the ball back for the offense, but nothing happens. Gerald Williams looked like the guy, Bob.
There's Joe Green on the sideline, the defensive line coach. Gerald Williams got his hand up. Kosar throwing that thing almost sidearm. That was almost a great break for Cleveland because they get another shot at it. Sims does the little roll there. Gets his hand up. All knocked away. Cleveland must punt.
Our NBC statistician Joe Costanza pointing out Lee Johnson, who's ready to punt now, is averaging only 24 yards on 3 punts. All his punts have been 24 yards. The Woodson, he is fast. Looks for a crack, gets a little bit, and gets the ball close to the 40-yard line of the Steelers. A 33-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Tackled by Frank Winters.
You know, the Browns, we got flags thrown. The Browns have changed kickers, punter and place kicker. And so far, Lee Johnson has not helped his team's cause much. That punt just 33 yards.
We could put a cage around the field like WrestleMania. Nobody leaves the field.
Yeah, well, nobody'd go in there either.
They've been going after every play.
Last week, of course, Chuck Noll very upset at the antics of the Houston Oilers.
Personal foul on Pittsburgh, number 29. Personal foul, number 42 on Cleveland. Penalties are all set. First down.
That's Cornell Gowdy on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Mark Harper, is that on the other side, 23? Or is it Tim Manoa? Well, whoever. Nothing is gained, nothing is lost. First and 10, Pittsburgh.
Cornell Gowdy, a first-year cornerback from Oregon State. Now the Steelers are set, ready to go. First and 10, just inside their 40. Malone going on 5 games without a touchdown throw. Pollard. Big play by Eddie Johnson, who you'll remember stopped that drive in the second quarter with his interception of Malone inside the 10. Loss of 3 yards on the play. You talk about a guy that comes with his game face on. Eddie Johnson wrote the book on it. 6th year from Louisville.
It'll unfold right in front of you. He reads that guard pull. 74, Terry Long. Looks like Darrell Sims, 99, holds up Terry Long. He's not out there to make the fold block. Eddie Johnson for the tackle, and loss of 2 yards.
Penny and Ilk in the tackles. Wilfrey along the guards. Webster at center as dropping to throw is Malone, running out of time, and now on the run. And Mark Malone beats the linebacker, heading for the first down marker. Malone goes out of bounds, very close to midfield. Despite surgical knees, Malone with good speed. He got 13 yards on the broken play.
He does have good speed. Still owns the Pittsburgh Steelers receiving record for the longest touchdown, 90 yards. And this is the one part of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense that I think should be used more. Malone on the run. You see the foot race between he and Clay Matthews. Malone stretches that ball out at the end.
I think we should point out he didn't throw the ball.
No, he caught it.
Like that
receiving record.
Satchel Paige used to talk about it. Turn out the lights and be in bed before it got dark. He was used as a receiver on a number of occasions here in Pittsburgh when he was playing behind Bradshaw. 3rd and short. Up the middle goes Pollard. It's a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers down to the 46-yard line.
Here we go again with more pushing and shoving. This time it's Brian Blankenship. And he leaves the field. No harm, no foul.
It's going to heat up a lot more than this. Watch.
The official threw his hat on the field. Not exactly sure what that means other than to mark where the ball was, maybe. But first down, Steelers.
First and 10 from Malone and the Steelers at their 49. Play fake to Abercrombie. Abercrombie struck hard, incomplete pass at the 42-yard line. Ray Ellis, the strong safety from Ohio State, came up and made the play.
Malone wanted this ball downfield. Good coverage by Cleveland. He has to go to the outlet. He's too far out of Abercrombie's reach. And it looks like the injury to Bob Golick has pretty much taken the Browns out of their bare defense.
That's right, it has. Playing the linebackers off. Their defense at 46 where as many as 8 people come up to the line of scrimmage. Draw play. Pollard looks for room. Nothing there. He's hit hard by Lucius Sanford. Knocked and thrown back on a 2nd and 10 play. So that puts the heat on Malone and the Steelers to throw deep on 3rd down. 3rd and 10 coming up with 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Clock running. Browns in the lead 12-3. Trump.
And the one guy that Mark Malone has been able to find in these 3rd down situations is John Stallworth. He's had a good day against Hanford Dixon. Big 3rd down conversion here for Pittsburgh.
was the #1 draft choice of the Steelers a year after they won the Super Bowl in 1980. He came in, missed all of one season with knee surgery, the '82 season. Still very mobile. With the gun, too. Lewis Lips down with the ball, and the play of the game, Lewis Lips, showing the all-pro form of a couple of seasons ago. High-thrown ball, and then comes down with it and somehow maintains his balance. A 27-yard gain for the Steelers. They have the ball down to the 18-yard line of Cleveland.
Just the 11th catch for Lewis Lips.
What a play.
And you see they run Stallworth kind of as a decoy. Clay Matthews, 57, can't quite catch it. Lips does. With that chronically pulled hamstring, went through a complete physical. He lost a little weight. Now he's trying to regain his stature on this team.
He catches it. He's not done at his best after he gets the ball. And it's 40 to go. Third quarter. Free ball on the field. Malone dove at it and appeared to get it.
Now down in the first half, Pittsburgh got to the Cleveland 32, the Cleveland 22, and the Cleveland 10, and came up with 3 points. Now once again inside the 20-yard line, they got to get that ball in the end zone. Almost 4-down area.
Look at that. That's just broken.
Well, it looks like Malone pulled out a little quickly there. That was not on Mike Webster, the center. Well, it's a waste of a play. 2nd down and 9.
Second down. Pollard up the middle. Breaks it for the moment. Gets down to the 10-yard line on a 2nd down and 9 play. He'll be a yard short of the first down. An 8-yard gain knocked down by safety Al Gross.
That was a touchdown saving tackle.
Look at the blocking notice.
The trap up the middle. You see Webster almost influences.
Webster's really something. 52.
That's Chris Rockins on the tackle. 37. And Al Gross 27, as I told you. I apologize for that. Now hang on to the football, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh 4 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. This is a 3rd and almost 2. Abercrombie did not get there. They'll be short by a yard, and the Steelers have to go for it. They've got to get the ball in the end zone. Have to go for it.
The quarter's going to expire here, so Chuck Noll has some time to think about it. I agree with you. I think you got to go for the 6 points.
They've had one field goal block. They would be down by 6, and a touchdown on an extra point would win it for them conceivably, but they haven't been close to a touchdown, excepting that one intercepted play. And now 12-3. Browns are in the lead, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Chuck Noll says Mark Malone is our quarterback. We've won 8 games, and we're not changing despite the pressure from the fans and the media. Chuck Noll, as a coach, is 22-15 against his former team that he played for, the Browns. The field goal is booted up and good by Anderson to make it a 12-6 game.
Down the point to make now. Pittsburgh has been at the Cleveland 32, the Cleveland 22, the Cleveland 10, and the Cleveland 10, and gotten 6 points out of it.
Marty Schottenheimer is also a winning coach against Pittsburgh. This is the 7th game he has coached the Browns against the Steelers. He's 4-2 in the previous 6. Well, Schottenheimer's had some career at Cleveland. He took over for Sam Ratigliano in October of '84. The Browns were 1-7 at the time. They finished 4-4 under Schottenheimer. And then they won the divisional championship the next year with an 8-8 record. Went 11-5 last year. Came a game from the Super Bowl. Beaten by the 98-yard drive of Elway and the Broncos.
I'll tell you, I like Marty, too. His line is deeds, not dialogue. Obviously, Art Modell likes him, too. His team has accomplished a great deal under Marty Schottenheimer. Took a huge gamble beginning of this season by trading away Chip Banks, a Pro Bowl linebacker, and drafting Mike Junkin. And Chip Banks did not make the Pro Bowl. Certain amount of delight for the Cleveland Browns, because that was a very, very big chance to take.
I'll tell you, among the young linebackers, Bosworth at Seattle gets the press. You look at the tape, the best 2 around in the first year are at Buffalo. Shane Conlon's been sensational. You don't hear anything about him. Rookie out of Penn State. Cornelius Bennett's going to be one of the best ever, potentially. the 6-yard line. McNeil runs it back for the Cleveland Browns, and he's cut down at the 23-yard line. Merrill Hodge again with the play on special teams.
The Cube has got some guts, you know.
Oh, he's got.
He throws
got
that. He throws that 147 pounds of his in there like it's 247. I guess he never really looks at what the
sacrificing his body for love of the game.
Yeah, he plays no attention to the scale. Plays like he's 247.
He gets on it, doesn't move. Imagine he's half the size of a lot of people on the field. Open man running in the open field is Webster Slaughter, and he's taken down at the 50-yard line, and there might be a penalty call on Delton Hall, who hunted the head making the tackle.
That'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct or a personal foul. 15 yards tacked on. Now, you like Delton Hall's aggressiveness, but sometimes rookies just try a little too hard to prove their point. And this was a shot across the face.
Personal foul. Face mask. Penalty is declined. Personal foul. Blow to the head. 15 yards. First down.
That's tacked on. That should be tacked on.
The number is 35. 35.
Delton Hall on the penalty. That ends up being a 41-yard pickup. Slaughter now 4 catches for 66 yards.
I once asked Chuck Noll about all the tough people they put on the field. I said, how do you coach that? He said, you don't coach it, you draft it. Delton Hall came in talking a big game and playing one right away.
That was a rookie mistake, though. Sometimes you try to prove your point a little too often, and on that one, Delton Hall really got caught.
He thinks he's tough, and he is. 14:24 to play in the game.
Yeah, but Don, you don't have to prove it like that.
No, you're right.
Mel Blount, one of the toughest guys to ever play the game, played cornerback, same spot that Delton Hall's in now, was one of the cleanest ball players that this game has ever known.
And for you to say that is some magnitude, because he puts you into next week on one occasion.
Yeah, I still don't know what happened at 18 hours. He knocked fillings out of your teeth, but he did it cleanly.
First down and 10 for the Cleveland Browns, who lead the game 12-3 in the first minute of the fourth quarter. A win today, and the Browns win their division. Long ball. Byner going for it. Through his hands at the 2-yard line. Kosar on target. At the outset of the game, we looked at the spotlight areas for both teams. For the Cleveland Browns, no turnovers, offensive patience. They've not turned the ball over.
I think Cleveland has really stayed to that game plan, and for the Steelers run effectively, and they have not. At the first drive of the game, they did and did very well, but since then, because they've gotten behind, they've had to try to throw the ball. And of course, the big turnover by Malone and the 4 chances inside the 25, resulting in 6 points. Only 6 points.
Second down and 10 now for Cleveland. Blitz. Kosar eats it up. Goes to Newsome. There's markers down all over the field.
That's Byner. He was flanked out as a wide receiver, and Ernest Byner was quick at the count. So watch Byner at the top. There's Woodruff out there, the cornerback.
Offense. Number 44. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Second down and 15.
Kosar, a 62% passer this season, hitting 60% of his throws today. He's hit 18 of 30 for 209 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions again. None last week against the Raiders, and he wasn't sacked at all. He's not been sacked today.
Looks like a throw here, Don. That foot's back.
Second and 15 would be a good idea, and there it goes. Loop pass downfield. There's the connection made to the Wizard of Oz. Newsome from Alabama in his 10th year comes down with the ball for a 21-yard gain, his 6th catch of the day.
He has been the big offensive factor for the Cleveland Browns. Bernie Kosar's found him everywhere. Came into the ball game with just 28 catches. That one good for 21. You see Byner clears out. Dwayne Woodruff, the defensive back. Newsome runs right underneath it. Nice big pickup. Good arch on that ball, too. Right over the linebacker's coverage. When Cleveland's had to make the plays, they've done it, Don.
They have. They could put this away, put the top on. If they take it in here, they go to the run. Kevin Mack wisely protecting the ball with both arms, takes it down close to the 17-yard line. David Little, inside backer and #1 tackler for the Steelers, made the stop.
Along with Greg Carr, who really fires into this defensive line. He's reading through the guards in the center. He sees the block coming all the way. Looked like Byner 44 was the guy who was going to try to get a hat on him, but Carr jumped inside and assists on the tackle.
Steeler defense has to make something big happen if they're to get back in this. Down 12-3 with 12:50 to play. Clock running and the Browns challenging again. 2nd down and 8.
Audible.
12-6, excuse me, after that second field goal. Throw and a catch by Brian Brennan. Down to the 8-yard line. He caught a ton of balls at Boston College from Doug Flutie, and is BC's all-time leading pass catcher, Brian Brennan.
That was a great job by Kevin Mack. Greg Carr blitzed up the middle. Mack was able to get right on Greg Carr, allow Bernie Kosar the time to find Brian Brennan. Now watch what happens. Watch 91. You see Mack turns around. He sees Carr coming, and that allows Bernie the time to make the completion. Excellent pattern run. And the offensive coordinator at Cleveland, Lindy Infante, likes that one. Just the way you draw it up on the chalkboard.
Cleveland 1st down and goal. Bang come the Steelers. Heath Gary.
Tackled by Gary.
From Oklahoma, #1 draft choice 5 years ago.
Looks like he jumps inside of the offensive left tackle of the Cleveland Browns. Paul Farron, I believe, 74, is right there to make the tackle along with Greg Carr.
The Oklahoma Sooners loaded with great defense again this season. Coach Switzer's had the Sooners in Florida a week early, going through 2-a-day closed practices. For next Friday night's matchup at Orange Bowl 88, the national championship game here on NBC Sports, following the Rose Bowl, which follows the Fiesta Bowl. Though in the flat, Newsome couldn't get there, as on the blitz came Greg Carr up the middle, and he was hunting hard with a forearm delivered to the face of Bernie Kosar.
That time Kevin Mack just couldn't quite get around Bernie Kosar to pick up the blitzer. Carr times it perfectly. Just as the ball is snapped, he's right at the line of scrimmage. You see Mack try to get over there and get him. This time he can't get him. Kosar can't make the completion. You're taking a big chance by blitzing that middle linebacker, but if you can go through untouched, you can stop the pass attempt. So now 3rd down and goal from the 9.
Trips formation. 3 wide receivers set to the right. 1 to the left. Slaughter's left. Kosar stands in, swings it out. Brennan makes the catch despite taking the hit just as he got the ball. He's thrown back. Markers come down again as they're swinging full speed at the 10-yard line. We had guys going right at it.
That was Mike Merriweather. Lupe Sanchez was the man in coverage. Now they're really going at it. Delton Hall.
Just like we like it here in Pittsburgh. When the Steelers hook up with the Browns, you can't help this. It happens every game.
That's Delton Hall and Webster Slaughter. Now an official on the field. Somebody's going to watch the rest of this game, not play.
Hey, Delton Hall is being now advised in no uncertain terms by his teammates, but it might be too late. He might be out.
The officials are gathering on the sideline. There'll be a man advantage here. 2 minutes of power play. Coincidental minors.
Get that game misconduct, though, for Delton Hall.
Big play, though, by Lupe Sanchez, keeping Brian Brennan from getting the ball to that 1st down marker, and then near side of the field. A hockey game did break out.
Bob Costas will be further reviewing the playoff implications when this game is over, so stay with us. But coming in, if the Cleveland Browns, as you know, won it, they win the division. We'll get to that in a moment. Here is the referee, Dick Hantak. If they lose, though, there's a very good chance they'd have to go to Seattle if the Seahawks win tomorrow at Kansas City, and that's not a good place to win a game at the Kingdome.
We had unsportsmanlike on number 74 on the offense. We also had unsportsmanlike on the defense. Those two penalties offset. Later, we had unsportsmanlike on number 35, Pittsburgh. We will penalize half the distance. First down.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You talk about a hot bunch of guys. That Steeler defense. Browns are first and goal at the 4. I wouldn't want to have to run into those Steelers right now.
Paul Farron
Anytime.
talking to Marty Schottenheimer and Chuck Noll saying, wait a minute, how do they make yards on this? There's Farron.
After the dead ball, there was another personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct call. Personal foul, half the distance, automatic first down.
Well, the thing is that Hall, even though he's coming out, is still in the game, has not been thrown out. There's Dick Hantak over talking to Chuck Noll. They always seem to get the second guy. Whoever threw the first punch, and I think it might have been Webster Slaughter, Hall on the retaliation is the guy who gets the penalty called on him. Now, he's not thrown out of the game. They've gone to the goal line defense, the Steelers have, so he's still in the game. But that's 2 big penalties now on Delton Hall. 1 to the head in this drive. Ended up being a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, and now this one half the distance to the goal. Are we reviewing again? Maybe we're not done yet.
Coach No would like a full explanation.
He's going to get it.
Not easy being an official. When they're right, no one remembers. When they're wrong, no one forgets. 10:54 to play, 12-6. The Cleveland Browns are in the lead. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Marty says you don't have to tell me anything. I like it. Whatever you say is all right with me, Dick. No problem.
We have an additional penalty
Against Pittsburgh. Number 35. 35 is ejected.
Whoa. No wonder Chuck Noll was complaining so much.
Delton Hall is history. He's out. And the Browns, when we do resume play, will have it first and goal at the 4-yard line. Easy now. Delton Hall did have some indiscretions, but this guy has a tremendous spirit. He's going to be a tremendous player. He is already. You don't want to see guys making 15-yard penalty mistakes, particularly one that get him sent to the bench. But he is a big-time player.
You can't call him a rookie anymore. He started every game this season that the regular players have played. And sometimes you do have to channel that energy in the right way, not the wrong way. Now we got an official going to the sideline to talk on the phone. There's Art McNally on the right, Pete Abatani on the left. Well, they want somebody else on the phone. I guess it wasn't for him. That's the umpire.
Thorough they are, expedient they're not. Gordon Wells is the umpire. So at the moment it stands 12-6. Cleveland Browns lead the game with 10:54 to play.
Apparently there is a question as to where the ball could be spotted. Now, how big a play was that? Remember, that was a 3rd down and goal. And because of the penalty on Delton Hall, 1st and goal. On the 2 offsetting penalties first, the Cleveland Browns would have had to try to kick the field goal. Another huge penalty on Pittsburgh.
Talking about where the ball should be spotted. So we go to local news.
There you see his equipment, the mouthpiece and also the earpiece for the umpire. He's the only one that's in contact with the instant replay. This is going to be a post-possession foul. So from the point where the ball was down, it'll be half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal, Cleveland. Pittsburgh has done a great job of keeping this drive alive for Cleveland.
Yeah. Fouls were offsetting. Then Delton Hall committed a personal foul after the ball was dead. So that was an automatic ejection, personal foul on the dead ball. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal, Cleveland Browns. The ball stays where it is.
That's a monstrous play in this football game.
Steve Kosar tries to offset the anger of this Pittsburgh defense by letting them come in the rush and dumping it off on a throw. No, to the run to Kevin Mack, and he's going to be stopped at the 2 or 3 yard line. 2nd and goal from there. At least we're back playing.
David Little, Brian Hinkle on the tackle. What a monstrous play that was. Keeps the drive alive. That was a 3rd down and about 7. It's actually 3rd down and goal from the 7.
Number 17 for the offense has reported as
Larry Williams is in the offense now, playing left tackle, a 300-pound lineman from Notre Dame. He's tackle eligible on the left side. Pitch back to Byner. Mack leads the blocking, takes down one man and into the end zone for a touchdown. Let's see the signal. You haven't got it yet. There it is. It is touchdown Cleveland, and the Browns extend their lead to 18-6.
I think Cleveland can thank that gentleman right there for that score. 2 personal fouls.
Steelers 6.
Now watch this play. That orange cone you see on the goal line is inbounds in the end zone. Excellent block by Mack. All he has to do is get 1 foot in there and hit that cone, and whether you like it or not, he's in the end zone.
So Matt Bahr is set for the point after attempt now with 9:36 to play in the game. 18-6, Cleveland in the lead. And a big step closer to the 3rd straight divisional championship and the home field in the 1st round of the divisional playoffs.
Pittsburgh 6.
Steelers with a loss today are history, so when they get the ball, Malone has no alternative. He has to start firing deep. Browns fans are here, but not in abundance. There's a very tough ticket in Pittsburgh. Only 400 Browns fans got tickets to this game. But they've had something to cheer about as the Browns now lead the game 19-6. And here come the Steelers as Dwight Stone takes it over the top and out to the 27-yard line. Since the National Football League went to divisional play in 1970, these 2 teams have dominated the AFC Central. 13 of the 16 previous Central titles have gone to Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Steelers have won 9, the Browns 4, close to winning a 5th.
Penalty yards have been a big factor, especially in this 2nd half, and especially in that last drive, and most particularly in the person of Delton Hall.
Steelers have a good offensive line and good running backs. When they start running the ball now, they are conceding the game with 9:27 to play. They've got to throw downfield, like it or not. It's not their game, but their history. Lost today, they have no hope. They're gone. Malone looks. He lets her go long. Out there is John Stallworth, and it's intercepted by Hanford Dixon at the 47-yard line of Cleveland.
Coach Cricky, you called it. This is not what Pittsburgh wants to do, but they have no choice. That ball way underthrown by Mark Malone.
This is the third straight year, Trump, that the Steelers will not go to the playoffs. Very un-Steeler-like. Used to be a playoff check was part of the deal when you played for Pittsburgh.
See Dixon at the top of the screen. Stallworth is the intended receiver. Malone is looking down the middle, then goes to the far side. I don't think that pressure by Carl Harrison is part of it. This ball is just terribly underthrown. And it's an easy interception for Hanford Dixon. Second of the day for Cleveland.
With the run go the Browns. Nothing there for Kevin Mack. Good defensive play. Shooting the gap was linebacker Robin Cole, an 11-year veteran from New Mexico.
When that ball was thrown, Malone is looking. He's trying to watch. With 2 interceptions today, now 19 on the season.
This is Chuck Noll's 300th game as head coach of the Steelers. And that one he'll want to put in his memory bank.
Well, they are unkind to Mark Malone here. And that last interception, one of the reasons why.
There's one about Santa, bring us a new quarterback. Ours is broken. Not easy being Mark Malone in Pittsburgh these days. Bernie Kosar can't get to the sideline.
He doesn't want to.
He bails out. That's right. Well, he wants to keep that clock going. In his wisdom, he does. 8:25 to play and running. 19-6. The Browns in the lead.
Tim Johnson flushed him out of the pocket. Greg Carr, none for the thumb till Malone's done. Except, I mean, these people here in Pittsburgh have forgotten what Terry Bradshaw was like his first 4 years. I mean, the numbers, you can say what you want, but the numbers are better for Malone than Bradshaw.
Let me ask you something. Do you think he's going to turn into a Bradshaw?
No. But as I said, the numbers are better.
They're down in long yardage. 3rd and 21, pump fake and an incomplete ball. This could be run back the distance. Moving the ball back is Cornell Gowdy. He's going to take it in for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So all of a sudden, with 7:33 to play, the Steeler defense rises up. Scores its 7th touchdown of the season. More than Malone has produced passing. A 43-yard return by a first-year player from Morgan State, Cornell Gowdy. And the Steelers are back in the game. 19-12 with the extra point coming up.
That's the 7th touchdown this defense has scored. They've now scored more touchdowns than the Steelers have produced in the passing game. 45 yards officially. Bounced off the receiver's hands. Gowdy there to take it in, and watch what happens. Well, we'll watch after the kick what happens.
Very important extra point. It brings the Steelers back to within 6. The 5th interception return this season for a touchdown by Pittsburgh.
And the 7th score by the defense.
So the Steeler offense has not produced a touchdown, but the defense does, and the Steelers are back in it. Jinx died a year ago, but not over yet. Just when the Cleveland Browns may have thought it was safe to count their winnings in another divisional title, they have a problem right now. The Steelers right back in this game, but they still have to get something from their offense.
That's one of the things about this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Mentally tough. Under Chuck Noll, they have very seldom lost games that they're supposed to win. Last week against Houston was one of the rare ones. And as long as this team can stay alive, Art Modell and all the rest of the Cleveland Browns got to be wondering, what do we have to do to win a game comfortably here in Three River Stadium?
Well, they've forgotten about comfortably.
And the worst
Getting out with their uniforms and a one-point win is fine.
And the worst thing is the Steelers defense back out on the field after this kickoff return.
McNeil, 147 pounds. Looking for license plate numbers. He just got hit by a bus. Greg Carr, a linebacker, got him. They're going to start up again. They might build something in the offseason, something tag team or...
I don't know, but you'd think they'd learn. Both teams need every player they possibly can muster out there for the final 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, once again on the interception, Kosar, when he rolled out a little bit, looked like an easy completion. You'll see the receiver come behind the linebackers. He pumps downfield, bounces off the hand of Clarence Weathers, and Gowdy takes it in for the defense's 7th score of the season. And again, the Steeler defense has put the team back in the ball game.
Steeler fans really ripping it up in the stands now as the Browns go to the run and get plenty as the straight-ahead run takes it out to the 27-yard line.
Byner.
Gary Dunn was on the tackle. Delton Hall leaves the field.
Might as well shower. Well, they got replacing him now. Lupe Sanchez is at corner. I have a feeling the minute the Cleveland Browns identify who's at corner, Webster Slaughter is going to get the ball. Slaughter near side on Sanchez. Lupe's a safety, not a corner, Don.
And he's playing way off Brian Brennan. 2nd down and a long 5. Straight ahead carry. Kevin Mack takes the ball, and he's knocked down by Greg Carr.
Tackled by Willis.
Greg Carr, again, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, been sensational for this defense.
Really, he's been terrific. Baby-faced assassin.
Not a particularly big kid, about 218, maybe 20 pounds, as is the case with the rest of the linebackers for Pittsburgh.
Fiery War Eagle from Auburn, Greg Carr. Ball out to the 31-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Lone setback is Byner. Kosar so tough now. He wants to be sure. So the Browns use their 2nd timeout of the 2nd half. They have just 1 remaining. Now they go together for some counseling. We'll pause here at Three Rivers. 5:57 to play. Orange is showing in the stands. Some people bailed out when the Steelers were way down, but now they've come back. 5:57 to play. 19-13. Cleveland in the lead. 3rd and 2 coming up for Kosar and the Browns.
Looks like a throw, Don.
Pitch back. Byner. And he turned the corner and make it upfield. He does. He has a 1st down for Cleveland.
Boy, this is an important spot. Yeah, he's got the 1st down.
A lot of time left, though. 5:51 to go. Browns are already in the playoffs. Worst they can do this season is a wild card spot, but they could go on the road to play in that next weekend.
1st and 10, Cleveland ball.
Steelers are history unless they win this game, and then they need help tomorrow. The ideal situation for Pittsburgh would be to win and then have Seattle lose to Kansas City, which would be an upset. The Oilers looking on intently. They're rooting for the Steelers. Handoff straight ahead on 1st down. There's not much there. As running with the ball is Ernest Byner, knocked down by Greg Carr, who has to have 15 tackles in this game.
They're going to be very, very conservative here. And Don, I still think the race in the hole is Lupe Sanchez at corner on when they need it. I think they're going to go to it.
There are the variables, what Pittsburgh must get.
Must win first.
Yeah. That's right. Get down to the basics. 2nd down and 8 for the Cleveland Browns. They lead 19-13. Kevin Mack upfield. And he's ahead for a Cleveland 1st down and stays inbounds at the 46-yard line. 9-yard gain on the play.
Rod Woodson on the tackle. Browns offensive line doing an excellent job of capturing the corner so that the running backs can turn up. There they are. 61 Babb, 70 Williams, Farron 74, 63 Risen. There's
an elite group of Cleveland Browns, 7 of them picked for the Pro Bowl. None for Pittsburgh in the 38 years they've been playing the Pro Bowl. It's the first time a Steeler has never gone. Webster very well could, though, for a 9th time because the standout from Miami, Dwight Stevenson's out with an injury.
Sides.
Keith Willis, the left end, broke early. 1st and 10 play.
That's the 3rd time we've seen that in the 2nd half. Offsides defense. And it gives Cleveland a 1st and 5. Jumps off sides again.
Willis, an undersized overachiever, also free agent from Northeastern.
5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Only about 6'1", 250, but so quick he's almost impossible to block. And he comes at the quarterback about a foot off the ground. He has astounding balance.
A great first step, always present in great pass rushers. Willis has got it. That great first step.
He's been a sack leader in years past for the Steelers. Right now they've got to put the heat on Kosar, though. Nice down for the Browns. 1st and 5. Kevin Mack, not much there. Got ahead for a gain of about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
Gary and Carr. Carr again on the tackle. He's looking right at that running back. Reads it very well. Look at him slide along the line of scrimmage. Oh, that's great technique by a young man out of Auburn.
He was a consensus All-American at Auburn. 3 times All-Southeastern Conference. But as you pointed out, Trump, the drawback was his size. He's about 6'1", 218, undersized for an NFL lineman until it's time to play. 2nd down and 4. Second back is Byner, and he breaks the cross, and he's ahead for a 1st down. Driving the ball down to the 40-yard line of Pittsburgh. An 8-yard gain on the play and a 1st down for Cleveland.
That's all Cleveland's interested in doing now. Just firing it right at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lupe Sanchez that time on the tackle. Not a lot of yards, but it does look like very important yards rushing.
And a very important game, not only for the Browns and the Steelers, but also for the Houston Oilers. They're watching in Houston, getting set tomorrow to go against your old team, the Cincinnati Bengals, who do not have playoff aspirations this year.
No, they do not.
Steeler win, and the Oilers are in position to win the division with a victory tomorrow. The Browns lead the game with 2:15 to play. Back to the run. Mack doesn't get much. Stays in bounds as those tough Steeler backers hunting the football, trying to free it. 1 turnover today, and that was the interception by Cornell Gowdy. It was run back for a Pittsburgh touchdown. Their offense, the Steelers, has not scored a touchdown.
Steelers take a timeout with 2:05 remaining.
Get another one when it goes to the 2-minute. This game is the property of the National Football League. The Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers, all rights are reserved. Three River Stadium, the day has warmed up at the outset. 32 degrees. Temperature has risen. Wind coming up somewhat. There was no wind at the outset. Cleveland Browns exercised a lot of demons a year ago when they won here at Three River Stadium for the first time in 17 tries. They were 0 for Three Rivers since this building opened in 1970.
Yeah, they're not superstitious, but they did stay at the same hotel. They did try to make everyone wear the same clothes. They did bring all of their injured reserve players, just as they did last year. Ernie Accorsi is wearing the same socks. We hope they're washed. Art Modell came over this morning. He has a very specific seating arrangement in his private box there. And they're hoping to exercise all these demons, but they're not superstitious at all.
As we pointed out, Art Rooney, the patriarch of the Steelers, said he'd be a very happy man if Pittsburgh would someday score a touchdown. Field goals won't do it, and they haven't so far today. 19-13, lone Steeler touchdown by their defense as the Browns lead by 6 and on. 2nd down and 8. Kosar underthrows the ball. Nice coverage on the play by David Little, an inside linebacker from Florida, running stride for the back, with the back out of the field.
And the Cleveland Browns coming into this drive had gained 39 yards rushing. In this drive, 34 for a 73-yard total.
Presents Fantastic Finishes. 1984. The Bears lead the Chargers 7-6 as Dan Fouts dumps a quickie off to Bobby Duckworth at the 50. Oh, he's quick and he's on his way to the go-ahead touchdown. Hold it. He drops the ball. And Mike Richardson pounces on it. Duckworth is beside himself. Moments later, he and Fouts put together the longest TD pass play in Charger history. 88 yards into the end zone, and this time with the ball.
For the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP is Ozzie Newsome from the Cleveland Browns. 6 receptions for 94 yards so far. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of today's MVP.
And I just noticed something. The clock now reads 2 minutes. When they took the timeout, there was 2:05. Let's find out if, in fact, Pittsburgh was charged with the timeout or this is the 2-minute warning. Because there was 2:05 on that clock.
They ran the play, though, after it to take it down.
I don't think so. I think there was 2:05 on the clock when the timeout was called. Yeah, they had 1 incompletion, so that's right.
Timeout at 2:05, then Kosar the incomplete pass. That brings it to the 2-minute warning, and now very important down 3rd down and almost 9 for the Cleveland Browns.
Showing blitz.
3 safeties coming hard. But he misses the tackle. The run is down to the 35-yard line, but there's a marker down also. Thomas Everett, the free safety for the Steelers. Number 27, shot up the gap.
This is on the defense. This flag is on the defense.
Steelers down. Rod Woodson, number 1 draft choice.
Watch this blitz. Carr 91, Everett 27.
We have tripping on the defense. Number 91 is a 10-yard penalty. It will be a first down.
Big as life. It's a correct call.
Sure is.
That's an automatic first down. Unbelievable. There's no question that the call is correct. You don't see it called very often. But you can't trip to get a running back down, and Greg Carr did. Woodson hobbling off. First-round draft pick in 1987. Watch once again. 91. Right there on the ground. Whips his leg up in the air. No question that that's a trip. That carries an automatic first down.
Umpire standing right in there, saw it all and fired the flag with 1:54 to play. Still 19-13, the Cleveland Browns in the lead. They've never trailed today. The Browns report card for the day. Bernie Kosar with 21 of 35, 245 yards, a touchdown. There was, of course, the pickoff and subsequent return. 43 yards for a touchdown by Cornell Gowdy of the Steelers. The Browns still well under 100 yards rushing. The bottom line is theirs right now. 19-13, they lead the game. 1st and 10 to the run they go. Second back through is Kevin Mack. Stays in, gets down to the 19-yard line.
Pittsburgh does have 1 timeout left. And they're not taking it. Now they take it. David Little finally signals to the official. We'll take our last timeout.
1:38 to play. Browns use their last timeout. River Stadium in Pittsburgh, 1:38 to play. You see the Steeler report card. Malone, good percentage completions, but the 2 interceptions have been so costly. As the Browns now out of timeouts, run the ball on 2nd down and 3. They'll be lining up shortly if they don't make it on this try. 3rd and 3 for a most important field goal. They lead by 6 at the moment. And if it's not history now, it surely would be if Anderson hits it up and through to give them a 9-point lead. Bahr, rather.
Cleveland's not going to be able to run the game out here. They're going to have to make some decisions as to exactly what they're going to do. There's still going to be some time on the clock. Unless they pick up the first down, which it's now 3rd down and 3. Five seconds on the 32nd clock. And
Ernest Byner runs the ball and down to the 16-yard line. Trump.
There's still going to be a few ticks on the clock. Another time of possession for the Browns. And the Steelers is 7 points.
It's amazing, huh?
On the interception return. What are the Browns going to do here? Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. Our producer for today's game, Glenn Adamo. Director, Ted Nathanson. Associate Director, Doug Grabert. Tomorrow, NFL Live at 12:30 Eastern Time as the strike-shortened season comes to its 15th and final regular season week. Keith Gary is down at the moment for the Pittsburgh Steelers being attended to. The Cleveland Browns 24 seconds from going back to Cleveland as divisional champion for a 3rd straight year. And with that championship, they'd have next week off and they would be on home field for the first round of the playoffs. They're jumping up and down on the sidelines, and with reason. As you see the breakdown of tomorrow's games, Bills go against the Eagles at Philadelphia, Jets and Giants in New Jersey, Cincinnati at Houston, a very important game for the Oilers.
I think Minifield, Dixon, and Felix Wright are jumping up and down because they may have to go back on the football field. There's 24 seconds left, and it's 4th down, and if the Browns don't get it and the clock stops at change of possession, I think they're trying to get warmed up because they know there may be one more play.
Time permitting, we'll be joining Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, and Paul McGuire for NFL Live immediately following the game as 24 seconds remain. Our thanks to NBC's chief statistician Joe Costanza, to spotters Tim Fogarty and Mike McGinley, helping in the booth with Joe Costanza and company, George Jordan and John Rooney. Down to 24 seconds to play, so the streak is officially over twice now. The losing streak at Pittsburgh. Browns a victor here a year ago to end the 0 for 3 Rivers streak. 0-16. Now they've got a win streak, 2-0. This is it.
That injury,
are out of timeouts.
That injury cost Pittsburgh a chance. Keith Gary on the sideline. Cleveland does not have to run another play. That is good fortune. They have had their breaks today, haven't they?
Yeah, they played well too. And they do when they have to. One of the real good teams in the NFL and one to be watched in the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns, as our MVP Ozzie Newsome goes up. Chuck Noll, a native Clevelander and a former Brown player on 2 championship teams there, coming across to shake hands as the Browns dominated the 4th period in time of possession, 14:39 to 21 seconds. They had the ball almost the whole quarter.
Absolutely. That last drive was like 14 plays.